The Center for Individualized Medicine, Story by Story, a video series on topics in individualized medicine at Mayo Clinic.
We're here in the Hardwick building where we're going to go story by story in an elevator with Dr. Mansfield. We're going to chat with him about cancer research and individualized medicine. There he is. I'm new to Mayo and I recently saw that you published a study in clinical cancer research. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, the National Cancer Institute and I were interested in studying how liver function affected outcomes in early phase clinical trials.
So how does this tie into individualized medicine?
So this project is one piece of a much larger effort to try to understand not only what drug to give a patient, but what dose of that drug based on how their liver works.
Okay, and you said this was for clinical trials. What does this mean for patients today that might have issues with liver function, or does it tie into cancer research? Can you tell me a little bit about why patients would be interested in something like this?
This is all related to cancer research, and we are trying to optimize the dose of drugs to give based on how well their livers and kidneys work. So this is, like I mentioned, one piece of a much larger effort to try to define who's going to benefit most from these drugs and how to minimize the toxicity. We often have to reduce the dose of these drugs when the patient's livers don't work well.
Sure, which might be different from mine versus my parents or another friend that may have cancer. It's all going to be different.
Correct.
Okay.
And we're trying to find ways to predict who's going to benefit the least from these drugs and experience poor outcomes, so we can try to predict that and prevent it.
So looking in your crystal ball as you go forward with cancer research, what do you hope to use this information you've learned for?
So I think this study helped identify a lot of gaps in our current knowledge. So the Organ Dysfunction Working Group at the National Cancer Institute is talking about changing some of their trials moving forward so that we can study this better and try to predict these poor outcomes.
That's great. And is this available for anyone to join the clinical trials, or is it typically the normal routes? Can you tell me a little bit about how someone would get involved if they think they may benefit from the trial?
There are specific clinical trials for patients with hepatic dysfunction.
Okay.
Mayo Clinic participates in those, and these are the ones that the National Cancer Institute sponsors to help us understand how liver function can be monitored and adjusted with these drugs.
Oh, that's terrific. Oh, that's my floor. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
The Center for Individualized Medicine, Story by Story, Mayo Clinic's elevator ride through patient care, education, and research.